Second sticks.
Welcome.
Yo.
What do we call this? Talking Too Much? Is that what it's still called?
Yeah.
This is the Talking Too Much podcast,
Glad
hosted
you're
by
here.
Pretty Much.
Woo.
And we're going to be doing this just a lot. Talk about life, talk about what we're doing, and what
Facts.
we're getting into in the future. So, yeah.
Totally.
Big facts.
Yeah. Where do we want to start?
Should we just address the elephant in the room first?
Should we just attack it head on? or-
No.
No, give them that suspense.
Suspense.
All right, yeah, well, say that for the end.
Let's start with some life updates. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
In the Pretty Much world, outside the Pretty Much world. I mean, we haven't ever had a chance to really talk about like our experiences with COVID and like the stuff that like you guys don't get to see behind the scenes, like just updates and everything, like in every area. Like let's start there.
Yeah, basically, like we were having a situation where we knew we wanted to get out of the original label, Psycho,
This was Simon.
Simon, and
Love Simon.
and that paperwork and that process took a really long time. In that process, we weren't dropping music, so it made it really hard for us to be consistent, for us to reconnect with the fans, because we really took a year hiatus of not doing anything. Even the Pretty Much Instagram was blacked out. And then in that time, you know, COVID just hit, so we kind of all just broke out and started doing our own thing. Everybody was separated for the most part in their respective homes or whatever. So everybody took their chance to kind of unplug and curate new skills. You know, I picked up Blender. I was producing more.
I'll say this much: like I fully unplugged. I think that, and I've mentioned this a few times, like on Cameo and stuff. But like, I think everything was moving so fast for us. Like since we started, I think that like the moment we went into lockdown, I was completely like just unplug, like actually relax, like actually like.
Like the thought of our career wasn't in the
Yeah,
forefront.
like I was like, okay, cool. The whole world is slowing down right now. Like there's no urgency for me to get like things, you know, there's nothing I can really do. I need to make sure that I'm like taking care of myself, like, you know, there for my family. Like my dad ended up in the hospital for a little bit. He's good, thankfully. But I think for me, I was like really enjoying, because usually like most people know me to be like, just go. But it was the first time that I think that I really was like, I don't know. Chill.
It's crazy too, because you look back, or at least now I look back and I'm like, I can't remember. I have shitty memory, but but like the putting yourself in the position, like while you're doing it and you're going like tour, and we would come back and we would like just fuck around and throw parties at the crib and like go to photo shoots, and it was just like movement. I look back and I don't ever feel like I didn't like take a step back to actually look at like all the shit that we were doing.
process.
No, bro. Like we were up, and I personally did not realize at all, like the amount of like success that we were like, you know, sitting in.
Yeah.
It's so easy to forget where you came from, and like, which also I think the brain likes to adapt to your new situation so that it doesn't overwhelm you. Because if you do step back and you're like, wow, I'm touring the world making music, and it's like, so if you try to analyze it too much, you might be like, it's a lot of pressure. But
right.
at the same time, it's good to look back and be like, damn, this is actually a blessing, and I'm very grateful for the life I've been given.
Totally.
Definitely was lost in the sauce.
Yeah,
bro.
I
100%.
I would definitely say it was probably the most like isolated I ever felt, because obviously like you know, you guys know that like I was on my own and essentially, and I had just had a kid, and like that was having and then just had a kid, and then, you know, becoming a dad during lockdown was probably like the most insane thing that you could ever do. But no regrets. Love my son. Love him to this day. Love him to the next minute.
The best.
He's the best. A true blessing for me, because I think it pushed me to be more responsible in every area I wasn't beforehand. And for myself, not for any other aspect or reason. So when it comes back to, you know, us working really hard now and doing all this stuff, it's like I feel like, in a way, it's just motivated me to always have the idea of success in my mind, and there's no other way out of that. You know,
That's what a lot of people say when you have a kid. You're doing it. It's not about you anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I can't really relate, but I do. Yeah, you do see a difference because it's like I feel like you have like a purpose now, like, you know, like not that you didn't before,
Like a deeper sense of purpose.
Yeah, but now it's like
It's not about
it's
you.
like it's not even about you. It's about taking care of kids. But yeah, it's a blessing. So, but yeah, my take on the whole COVID thing is just I feel like we had so much momentum. And we were really, like, gaining traction. And, like, even though we did so much, it just didn't feel like we did, like, as much as we did. Like you were saying, like, when you look back at it, you're like, wow. And I think it kind of, like, threw a dagger in the momentum a little bit. But it was good. It was good I know it was good for me. Like, made you go do some, like, soul searching. Like, seeing how, like, you're feeling mentally and stuff. And just, like, you know, where you want to go.
It's crazy to think that it was that long. It was like 2 years.
Yeah, it was.
Because we were like 2022. It started top of 2020.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, like that was a whole year, and then a whole nother year. The 2021 was end of 2021 was when we signed the Warner deal.
Yeah, I don't
like that's a long ass fucking time.
I don't think 2 years has passed quicker.
Yeah, no.
In my perception of reality.
Totally.
Yeah.
For me, I realized
So
like I was like cozy, and then I was like, oh, a whole year has went by, and then I started to realize I got too comfortable. Like I started like forming like bad habits and like just not staying sharp on my skills, and I was like, I need to get it together. Like at a certain point, I really was like, all right, I need to like turn. Like there was actually a time, and I don't like want to go too deep into this, but like I was kind of like maybe depressed, and I was like not wanting to like. I would like think about going and sitting and producing something, but just like not ever doing it. I don't know why. I was like, some part of my brain was like scared to like sit at the desk because I didn't want to like do something and then just not like it, not vibe with it, you know? So for a while, I just wasn't making any music, and I was just like, I don't know, I was stuck for a minute.
Yeah, it's one of those moments that you have to overcome your own fear, which is probably one of the hardest things to do. And also, too, just to speak on that time, it was the funniest thing because it was probably the one time I played the least amount of video games in my whole entire life. And this man picked up video games and decided that he was going to be better than everybody.
Bros. Like crazy. I got nice, though. I got nice.
Yeah.
I can hang. I can hang.
We're having tournaments.
The reason I started skydiving was because
Yeah.
I felt like when we moved to LA, I didn't even feel like that when we moved, but like as soon as everything calmed down, I was like, I miss like sports. Like I miss like doing competitive shit and like, cause that was such a big part of my life that I was just trying to get into a sport. And then we tried the skydiving thing and I was obsessed, and I still am. I'm going to get back into it eventually, but it's
I feel that.
It's a lot.
Like I randomly too felt like I started craving like normal things, like things that were like just opposite of like,
because it's like yeah, we dance, but it's like we're not doing like it doesn't feel like a sport. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, especially because you know it's like it's performance, so it's a little bit different. But like at the end of the day, like I felt like I was like craving things that were like opposite of like flashiness. Like for a while, I was like as obviously I love being on social media and stuff, but like for a while I was like loving not being on social media and like spending time with like my family and like trying to recently more investing in my friends, like. And now I have to find the right balance because I still need to be like, fans are telling me all the time, they're like, why aren't you ever on Twitter? And I'm like, I'm sorry.
Hey man, I've been in the basement for like 4 years compared to some people. So
I've been better recently.
It happens.
To be fair, the funniest thing I just thought of is when you said like, I just wanted normal things. I just had an image in my head of Brandon sitting there feeding pigeons on a fucking public bench. Like, you know what I mean?
Hey.
That's another thing too. When I went back, it was like a fucking ghost town.
Yeah.
It was like like I Am Legend.
Yeah, it
like
literally
walking
was.
down
Like,
New York City.
There was some stores that were like boarded up because like, you know, it was like the time where people like looting because, you know, it's COVID, so nobody's doing anything, and
that's crazy.
And there was just no one in the street. It was.
Did you ever just like run down the middle of the street or like take your skateboard and go fuck up?
No.
Like,
I mean, I wasn't. The thing is, you still weren't allowed to be like. Out.
Yeah, like you couldn't be like around. Yeah.
But it was just like while you're driving to get somewhere from one place to another, it's just
wild concept.
It's just nothing. There's just
I mean,
people
similar
outside.
thing. I was like in Hollywood, like it was just like The Walking Dead. Like it was literally like
I don't know.
That's Hollywood every day, baby.
no, but I have never seen Hollywood so like I don't know if this is
empty.
out of pocket to say, but even the homeless people were nowhere to be found. Like, oh my goodness. Like,
Even they said nah.
couldn't see. There was nobody.
I'm outta
Like,
here.
it was crazy. It was
I
crazy.
don't know if people were just like making edits, but like wasn't water and stuff clearing up like in Venice? Like the canals were like the
Oh,
clearest
yeah,
they've
yeah,
ever
yeah.
been.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Like the air was like the clearest.
There's something
they've ever
there.
been.
Because
Yeah.
nobody was outside.
Yeah, because nobody was doing shit.
No cars was being
And
driven.
factories
Yeah,
were
but,
closed.
but
and
how
shit.
but how are our water bills and electricity bills?
Yeah.
That's facts.
40-minute showers doing
COVID.
the music video.
What are you doing in the shower for 45 minutes? I saw a dude on Miles' story today, in the gym with jeans on.
Oh, I saw
No
that.
way.
I saw that.
Imagine being in the sauna with jeans.
Who
bro.
was going to the gym with jeans, bro?
What workout was he doing?
I don't
Please
know,
tell me
but
he
they-
was not doing cardio because I
were-
bet you he was chafing after that.
They were skinny jeans too.
Oh my.
Oh, were they the flex fit?
I don't even think so, bro. They look like some
No, they look like some-
non-stretchable.
Yeah, they look like
Nah, there be
Straight
motherfuckers
Or
that
they're like classic vintage
Yep,
Levi's.
Yep,
Like-
yep, yep, yep.
there be motherfuckers that go to the gym and they like look like they're going to work. Like they
Yeah.
like needed a pump right before work
Yeah.
or like right after work. And I'm like,
Man.
Bicep.
like you're literally wearing dress pants and like the undershirt that you wear under your button
Yeah.
shirt. Like
Like what happened, bro? Did you get a call and you needed to like work that out with yourself real
it's, like,
fast?
crazy. And it's like,
I've seen some crazy things at the gym.
bro.
Yeah, I always get the weird encounters. I tell Zion all the time, like if I'd be like, yo, like it's just people just come up to me. I just must have like talk to me written on my forehead. They'd be like, hey bro, like, so what are you working on today? I'm like, not even like, hey, what's your name? Like, hey, what are you working on today?
Hey, can I hop in your set?
I'm like, yeah, no, yeah. Like,
Need a spot?
How you doing? And then
Nah.
I'd see that person more often, just fist bump me, be like, hey, I'm injured, I'm out for a couple weeks. I'm like,
Like, bro, I'm not talking to you.
I'm like, hey man, like this is cool, but like
Dead.
I really don't know you. So like,
That's funny.
Nah, one time me and Brandon were at the gym and there's this lady. She had a bird on her.
Oh, I kid you. I posted
She had
this.
a bird, and she was doing
I gotta
legs.
find the
She was-
picture. I'll put it in.
You know, the machine, you know the machine that you lay down and you do the legs?
The
Yeah,
leg
yeah.
She's
curls, leg
Yeah,
curls.
leg curls.
The
yeah.
bird is just on her back, just chilling, and everybody's
Chilling.
looking at this bird. And she gets up, and the bird's just hanging.
So like she brought the bird in there.
Yeah.
She
Yes,
brought
it's
the
her
bird.
bird.
Bird was
It
like on
didn't
the
just
shoulder,
fly in,
like
like-
didn't fly anywhere. Like well maintained. Like must be a support
He's
support
a
pet.
service animal,
Service.
bro.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
Gotta
What,
be a
what
service
kind of
bird.
what color was it? Like
It
what
was
is
like
It was like yellow green.
Parrot, like
Like-
a parrot color.
Oh, like
Yeah.
a cockatoo or some shit like that.
Like it was.
I don't
it
know.
Was, it was a nice
I,
bird.
I don't specialize in birds. I can't tell.
Pretty
I-
bird.
like yeah, the cockatoo is the one that has the like yellow.
No.
I'm sorry, has the yellow mohawk.
You're good.
No, it didn't have the mohawk.
Oh, okay. No.
It was a smaller bird.
Which bird got the Jimmy Neutron gel?
Yeah. Slick back.
It's a bird named Slickback.
I'm crying.
Literally.
Nah, it was
Yeah, no,
crazy.
that was
'cause
crazy.
it didn't move.
Gym characters are just different. Different.
I saw that. I
I thought
sent
you were saying
the.
Jim Carrey.
I thought I
deadass
thought he
thought the
said-
same
I
shit.
thought he said Jim Carrey.
Bro, now all I can think about is the fact that we should just make this like a PMTV thing. Like where we just like make
A skit.
a skit about all the different weird things that you guys have experienced in the gym.
What's PMTV? What's that?
Something that can happen in the future.
Something that's coming
yeah,
soon.
something that's coming a long
Austin's
time
jumping the
away.
gun a little bit.
I'm sorry. We can cut that out.
He's-
I don't know what we're talking
There's a
about.
lot in the pipeline, but let's get back to the pipeline. Actually, we haven't even finished. Let's finish going through. What was this? After COVID, so we got into this new deal with Warner.
Yeah.
In the beginning, this was end of 2021.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we signed a new deal with Warner end of 2021. And this was supposed to be like our pretty much 2.0 like new launch. And it was cool because we were actually had a great A&R who was like really, week to week helping us basically like get things done and let us have like a lot of creative control and put out Smackables EP. It was fire. We helped do a lot of the videos, like the conceptualization. I think we produced all of the songs except for
Lonely.
Lonely we just helped write, I guess. But yeah. And that was a good project. I think for me, it was like fulfilling to like just, get in the swing of doing it. Mm-hmm. And it was like a small taste of I think what we're kind of stepping into now more so. But yeah, I think for me I was like stuck in this like little funk like in my own mental, cuz we were like hype about it, but then when it came out, we didn't really like post about it all that much. Like we
Yeah.
posted about it and then just like.
Also, what happened was our A&R left Warner and went to a different label.
Yeah.
So that slowed things down a lot too, because we had
Right.
to find a new A&R to.
And she's great. She's doing great things at the other label. So good for her.
Yup.
Yeah,
But,
the thing is like, if you don't know anything about the industry and about how like the music industry works, like a lot of it is who you know and what your team looks like.
Yeah.
And when you look at like a label, they have so many other artists that they have to work on. A&R is focusing on certain things.
Mm-hmm.
If your point of contact, your person leaves, or you have to find a new person, it just switches up the whole flow. It's like if you're taking class and like your teacher's teaching a whole lecture, and then at the end of it, the teacher dips and you get a new teacher. It's like now you have to relearn
like a whole different
new flow of shit.
Yeah.
And I think for us, it was like we felt the momentum, we felt the importance there, and now I don't think that they were able to fulfill the needs that we wanted, and I don't think that we were in a position to be able to give them what they might have wanted.
And I think it's like a similar thing with the first label, because even the first label was great, but like I think our interests were just in different places. And it's like we always talk about it as like a marriage, you know, like if it's just not working out, like, you know, you got to part ways. And that's how I guess as we're taking on more and more stuff on the business side of things, we're learning is like it's not even like any bad blood or any like, you know, it's just not the right fit.
It's investment versus product. And what I mean by that is they're the money, they're the pool of money, and we're the product. So we believe in ourselves more than they ever could believe in us, because we know who we are, right? They have the money and they're the investor.
At the end of the day, they got to believe in what they're spending and investing in.
It makes sense, because it's like
Yeah.
if you're the big dog with the money,
Right.
you can't put money in something you don't fully believe in.
Yeah, you don't understand.
And it's not like it's no bad blood that they don't fully believe in us, but it's like you kind of have to be in it to see where it can go.
And
you know?
also,
and it's one of those things too as well. It's like, you know, like a relationship, you don't want to drag it out. Right?
Yeah.
Like once you felt like things kind of are, you know, opinions are switching, or like creatively or mentally you just don't line up, you gotta just like you gotta cut the cord.
You gotta
essentially.
know when.
Yeah.
And the thing is too, it's like we don't have the time to have to, because we could prove ourselves, right? We can prove ourselves, and we can show
Exactly.
you like this is what you're gonna be
Right.
wanting to invest in. But it's like we don't have the time. It's been 6 years. I'm not gonna take another year of trying to prove myself
Right.
when I already have, you know,
Done it to yourself.
done it to
You-
myself,
yeah.
and we've built the infrastructure to be able to do it, and I think that's where we're at now. It's just we've never tried doing it ourselves,
right.
and there's nothing to say that we can't later down the future like be able to prove ourselves to these labels. But at the end of the day, it's like we can be proving ourselves while we also acquire money, right?
Yeah.
Like,
of course.
like we can be proving ourselves on our own time, and then
and while
in due time, you know,
being also able to drop music,
Yes.
because
Never.
the whole thing about being signed
Right.
is the label has to approve the music that you drop. So that alone, that process takes just longer than
Yeah.
if we were approving stuff ourselves. And
that's when it comes down to like when we're just not on the same page, it gets hard to like really move the dial. I mean, looking at this last year, we put out, was it
just shout
the Jeremiah song, and then well, no, so it was Smackables, Trust, the Jeremiah song, I Don't Want to Leave.
and then
So when
Talking To You.
Talking to You didn't come out for another year because we just were having a hard time like getting on the same page. We were doing a lot of sessions and we were working, but after a while, it started in my mind. It started to feel like, oh, I'm going to another session of a song we probably won't use, and it became very just like unmotivating, and almost like what you were saying earlier about proving. It's not even like I think that there is a lot that we have to prove, are capable of proving, but it's not even more so that we have to prove something. It's more that I believe in like divine timing and that everything happens for a reason. I think that like this whole journey leading up to now has like taught us so much about like how the industry works, and like none of us were really in, at least on music, like we weren't in the industry. So it's taken us 6 years now. We've learned so much about really how it works and how things get done, and like made a lot of connections. And I think now is like the perfect time for us stepping into this new era of like independent and like, you know, just really taking on different roles. But like, you know, we're also 6 years older. So it's like, I wouldn't have really seen myself taking care of like business, or like there was a time when I was like, we have like business managers and lawyers, and I was like, oh, they can take care of everything. I don't need to read the contracts. I don't need to like pay attention to my taxes. They'll just let me know everything. And I started to realize that it was like, I was actually, it was something actually my dad said one time. And I was like, what do you mean by that? I think he said something like there's like still, because like I moved out to LA when I was 16, and he was like, there's still like certain things like I wish I could have like spent time teaching you. And I could tell he was talking about like money, and I was like, and that really made me think. And I think after that, I really triggered a new momentum of thinking. I was like, I really don't know how to manage my own money and manage like
not only that, they
my
don't
business,
tell, you know, tell anybody how to manage money.
Yeah, and it's not taught. It's not taught in schools. It's like, you know, there's like accounting classes and different things, but most of the resources that you can get, especially nowadays, we got like YouTube, TikTok, like all these different platforms and people that are trying to help educate. But like I've kind of found this new passion, a lot of us, this new passion for like hustling and like really like learning how the world works and like money works. Just because we've never like, it was a crazy thing when I realized that we were like $1 million company, but we none of us have ever seen $1 million. Like, but you know, I think all that to say, like, it's given us, or at least me, and now that we're stepping into this new era, like a new appreciation for how to deal with, how to really leverage what we have to offer, to actually make money. And it's like, there's been times, I know all of us, we can talk about it however much we're comfortable with, like have really struggled financially because, you know, like, obviously the COVID thing was a big thing, but also we just never really saw a direct correlation of the amount of work that we were doing to how much like we got to like our lifestyle. Like we never really got to like see that direct correlation.
Yeah.
But now it's like the motivation is, one, obviously feeding our fans, because like it's been a long time and we know that, and we thank you guys for being like patient with us. Again, it's been just like a long learning process, and now we're finally in a new time that I think is going to be fun, way more fun for everyone, for the fans, for us. And you know, also just like being able to actually like receive the money that like we're working so hard to like to, you know,
and now too, it's like we I think you said this before, but like now, like we own a business.
Yeah,
like we own a business.
We're the owners.
Is cool.
Yeah.
Like to say, like as a person of color, that I own something, you know.
Totally.
And it's sick to be able to like, these are things that like we don't even think about, but in due time we could sell it. We could sell the LLC and make, you know what I mean? Like there's workarounds to where now like there's just so much more that's open, and I think it's because we're playing the long game, which is, we've always been playing the long game, but the long game is the
I don't think we were playing the long game. I think the label's intention was to make us as big, like the next big boy band, One Direction style, and I think that's what all our goals were. But as times went on, it's like this doesn't have to be just a boy band that's big, and then this could be a lifestyle in the sense of like music to art to freaking
video, fashion, music, like the
but
whole.
even too, it's like I commend everybody for not being like, which is something that a lot of people can't do, and we did it so well. Like, when I say long game, I mean trusting the process to be able to say, like, we're not there yet, but we're gonna get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Totally. And it's like, because some people, it could just be like, so, like, you could get caught up in the, because it's like, we see the trajectory, and we always saw the trajectory, and we kept pushing for it. Despite the amount of money that was coming in, despite the decisions that were being made, it's like we have faith that there is light at the end of the tunnel, which is very motivating.
To be able to have new music out regularly is kind of trippy for me, because we've never done it, and it's like it's so exciting for me. Like, I just want to be able to be like, yeah, this is my song, play it, and be proud of it, you know, and be like, I did this, I'm a part of this,
totally,
and it wasn't given to me by an executive and all that.
Yeah, and it's genuinely been, even just with how much we've started to do recently, so fulfilling, at least for me, to like know like, oh, we're booking out the space, like we're like going and getting like we're styling each other and getting fits, and we're like, you know, scheduling all these things, and
it's
like,
not as hard as they want you to think it is.
I was watching.
There's only one approval. It's just us.
And that's the thing. And that was my biggest concern, was like, we already have to get approval by all of us. So the fact that we all came together to be able to decide this is it, to have somebody else from West Bubbafuck try to fucking make a decision on that, it's like, bro, it already took us this long.
It already took 5 people to get to this.
Get on the same mindset. Like, if we all agree
That's
on
true.
it, then it should be good enough, in my opinion.
I mean, it's
100%.
it's the whole concept that when you have the more people you have in a kitchen, there's the percentage goes up immensely for every person that you won't agree.
And each of y'all listen to great music.
Right.
Yeah.
You all listen to some of the best music in the world. So if those people are all saying this is dope, do you not think it's going to be remotely dope?
Yeah.
True.
To some extent, it's gotta be at least a little bit dope.
Yeah.
I mean, if you have good taste in
Yeah,
music.
but to also be on the other side of the coin, like the label thing is like, you know, for some people it does really work. Like
Yeah,
we were kind of talking about this. Yeah, like there's some people who really thrive.
Drake.
Well, he's true. A good example. But like a lot of artists that not to say that they lack creative vision, but like they really benefit from like having resources from a label.
Yeah.
But I think actually you made a good point. The fact that it already took 5 of us to come to a decision. Like,
No, we have excess of creative vision.
and we all
We need
have
to
like
dumb it down.
Yeah, we all have a lot of like taste making preferences and like certain things. So it's like not to put a bad taste in people's mouth, but like I feel like sometimes like our creative will almost get watered down because it has to go through these filters of like just things that are like industry norms. And especially now that the industry is changing and we're stepping into like things like with Web3 and music NFTs, and like the more and more I talk with people, especially younger people, like there's no real how to break an artist
no, like,
anymore.
rules
There's no
to it,
rules. Like there's like, of course, like some things that are consistent and work and have shown to work, but even we're seeing more and more, especially with like TikTok, it could work once and then not work again. Like,
and we're slowly starting to see like people are able to like see through the bullshit now. Like you can tell who's an authentic artist and who's being fed demos and who's, you know, creating from scratch. So that's cool as fuck too, because the world is so technology driven. We can make songs, like you can create studio quality stuff, not in a studio anymore.
Right.
At, you know.
I remember even just thinking that when I first found Bryson Tiller, like back in like 2016 maybe,
Yeah, it was
I found out that all of his whole like Don't popped off, and he did that in like his bedroom with like an
Beebs in the
engineer.
Trap by
Yeah.
Nav. He
Yeah, yeah.
recorded that in his mom's like basement.
Yeah, and it's like when all these artists who really started to do it, and then they started like, I found out Bryson Tiller made the rest of his album like in a big studio, but they tried to tailor the vocals
like
to
the
sound
original.
like that bedroom producer, which is
Yeah.
now such a thing. Like,
I was watching a Yeet interview, and I didn't know he's like
he produces.
he's producing this shit. I don't know if he's
Yeah,
making
yeah.
the beats, but he's like cutting himself,
Yeah.
which
He's
is crazy
engineering.
because he's like, yeah, the only thing I need now is like mastering. I was like, you don't master your shit?
Yeah.
All this shit out is not mastered.
yeah, well,
and it's
like, if you
it sounds pretty good to me.
Oh no, it sounds great, but it's like I always noticed it, and I thought it was like a style thing, but and it kind of is. It adds to the thing, but it's always everything is just a little quieter
It's
than
like, yeah, it's like a sound.
than like
it's
every
the
other song that
SoundCloud.
it's like I'm playing on like Spotify. Yeah.
That's crazy.
yeah.
That's cool because I genuinely thought like if a song has millions of views, it was mastered. End of story. It's not the case.
Well, I mean, I feel like the funny thing about what you guys were just talking about, like the idea of things that, you know, the non-mastering is almost like a style now. Like I can say that there's definitely genres where they purposefully make things sound kind of in a way to the industry norm awful, right? But that's like lo-fi.
Well, it's not that it sounds awful. It's just not. It's not by the book.
Yeah, it's not crispy. They'll make it
Yeah.
sound crackly. They'll you know, and all these things. And it's like I'm actually
honestly,
really
though-
excited for the music industry to start moving into that wave, because then it allows for all this crazy things that would have never happened because of industry norms, because of labels, what we were just talking
I'm
about.
not gonna lie though, when I hear like something like done in like a crazy, like a Juice WRLD studio,
Yeah.
the way the vocals cut through is definitely like more ear candy. for sure.
Yeah, they got that whole chain is crazy.
Like when you
But that's part of everybody's like different steez and different like going to what you were saying, like there's people that I know and I talk, like I see it more and more, like people who purposefully like distort things, and it's like technically not by the book, but it doesn't matter. Like going back to what I said, like
changing the book.
The rule, yeah, the book is changing like always, and it's like that's at the end of the day, as long as there's a level, we've talked about this, like level of intention and like artistic expression, like it doesn't matter if it's not by the book. It's because you're exercising an art or expressing
quality.
an artist message in some way, you know.
Yeah, and the book's not even a book anymore. It's a Google Doc that's constantly being updated.
It's an ebook.
ebook. With that being said, yeah, we have a bunch of stuff that we're gonna release, and it's cool because like we'll be able to drop it with frequency, with consistency, but also with real-time feedback to actually be able to tailor and maneuver, versus, you know, taking a whole year of not releasing something, releasing a song, and then banking on it, and then being like, okay, well, it's not doing so well, and it's like, yeah, how about we just do it again?
How about we just do it? Well, and not to mention too, like, fuck, I just plugged my charger and forgot what I was gonna say. I had a point.
It happens.
It'll come back.
That's the worst.
Oh, that's what it was. And not to mention, like, having actual transparency about, like, what's going on. Because for the longest time, like, it's been so hard for us to, and we've found ourselves sitting on our hands a little bit because, like, people asking, where's the album? Where's the tour? Where's this?
And it's like to say.
We don't, well, it's not even that we're not allowed to say. We don't have an answer. Like, we ask the people that are above us, and we just don't have an answer. And it's like we're trying to, like, scrape for something that will be plausible for you guys,
And then also, yeah,
but we feel bad about it, you know, like, and I think now it's going to be nice to at least have transparency and be like, yo, this is what's coming out this week, next month, like, this is what we're working towards. There's a lot of things that we kind of have to go back to the drawing board and just be more creative, because we don't have like the big label budgets now, but we're you know, having conversations and stuff about funding, and even just down to like the touring thing. Like we're really trying to design the plan, because it's been 2 years and we can't just go back on a tour like the size of FOMO, you know, as much as we would love that. We just don't think that that's a possibility. So we have to, you know, go to the drawing board and actually figure out how to do that. But at least now there's like transparency. We can be like super real about everything.
Because I was going to say, I feel like before we weren't allowed to even say we were waiting on the label, you know?
Right.
I feel like
we don't
didn't know. We didn't want to put bad taste in their mouth or anything like that.
I also feel like too, like me personally, I'm super excited to just start teasing things, because the only people I have to ask are here at the table. If I'm like, hey, like, are we cool with teasing this song, just like 10 seconds of it on, you know, the Pretty Much Instagram, or even just trying to hide it on one of our personal Instagrams and have them look for it and that kind of stuff. Yeah,
like Easter eggs. Like, we've always wanted to do that kind of stuff. Shit, but it's hard, like, especially, well, one, now we're producing and writing a lot of the music, but I also get this as a producer for other artists. Like, you know, some producers don't want you to even tease things until there's a deal in place, which I get to an extent. But then there's also people that we're like more friends with that are producers, and they're like super open about it. And especially now that we're seeing like songs that aren't out, and I don't know if they have a deal set in place yet or not, but like they blow up on TikTok, and then it forces the labels to like put them out. Yeah. So like, you know,
we can act real time on those kinds of
things.
videos.
Exactly.
Like,
we can finish it up in the week.
Yeah.
We literally did that for, I mean, we're still working on it, but by the time this is out, How to Love, H2O, basically we just within a week decided, all right, this is the one, finished recording the vocals, finished writing the second verse, finished the production,
filmed the music video,
made the artwork, all within a week. And it's like, realistically, we could be doing this. We could do that every week if we wanted to. So, and that's kind of the goal. So, yeah, I think now for us, it's exciting to just like get the feet on the ground and start running, you know?
Facts.
And trying new things. Like, I know that there's a lot of people I've even just seen on like Twitter, like, who don't really understand like the Web3, like NFT space. And we're not like fully trying to like take up that whole space, but it's just an interesting avenue. And I think for me, I just always want to be like, I've always imagined what are some of the things that I could be on the front of, like if it really goes off,
yeah,
like
exactly.
big.
I don't imagine a label like even trying to, I mean, some labels are, but like trying to even capitalize on that market. And the fact that we are now and we're starting it so early is like when it becomes mainstream, we'll be at the forefront.
Yeah.
We'll
And
be
it's
looked at as that.
referenced.
We'll be
Yeah.
referenced.
And I love
exactly.
like the sense of community that the Web3 space has in general. Just everyone, like, obviously there's some scammers out there. You got to be
I
careful.
was saying it feels like that old LimeWire, Soldier Boy era of like,
Yeah.
you know.
But everybody who's like in the space wants people to win or wants people to see other people winning, you know, and everyone's supporting each other. And we've got a lot of support, I think, from the Web3 community. And obviously we have this first release with sound, and we will be releasing with Spotify and Apple Music and, you know, the other platforms as well. We just, you know, we're just fresh out of our label deal. So, you know, we have some work to do there, but this has been fun just to like get something out. And, you know, you don't have to have like, you don't have to buy it's, you know, you don't have to buy it. You can just go on the website and stream the song if you like it. But
For free.
yeah. And we will put like the ones that probably are more popular on sound, we'll probably put out on Spotify and Apple Music.
there are no limits now.
So give us your feedback. If you guys are loving it, let us know and we'll make sure that it's out.
But with
everywhere.
that being said, now I feel like we should address the elephant in the room.
Yeah, I was
Dun, dun, dun.
I was gonna preface it by saying this is like the moment where we decided if we're leaving our label, leaving our management, we're pressing reset. Like all of us have to be fully, you know, down and excited and you know, inspired to do this. So we, you know, we had our own little Jedi council, and you know, set our pieces and, you know, got to a place of
conclusion.
got to a conclusion. I'll call it. That's all I'll say.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so should I just break it down?
That's all you. That's all you.
Break it down for him.
Damn. All right.
Break it down.
I was kind of not excited for this topic to come up, but you know, got to do it. But yeah, so like Zion said, we all had a chat, and you know, really, because we were pressing reset on everything, like he said, and we're really honing in and like seeing like, you know, where the state of the group is at and like what direction we want to be going in, and just for some time, like especially over COVID, like just me mentally, physically, emotionally, even financially a little bit, like just figuring myself out and
Wanting your own reset.
yeah. And I felt that I needed a change for myself, just like, you know, to press reset with myself. And like I had different like ideas of the direction I wanted to head in, where the group had a other direction. And it wasn't like, it was like a really good conversation. That's why I'm like so blessed to like be with these guys. You know, I basically grew up together for 6 years, and so that's why it was the hardest pill to swallow. And I told myself I wouldn't do it, so I'm not going to. But you know, it always chokes me up a bit. But yeah, it was tough because, you know, like I said, these are like my brothers. So yeah.
Also, I always forget, like, bro's been famous since he was 12. Like he's been in the well, yeah, but like he's been with a camera on him on a big stage since you were like super young.
Yeah.
Like 5, at least double this span of time. You've done this
like,
almost twice,
it was
right?
12 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So
12 years.
So like you've done this.
You've
and
been in it.
And I know you wanted to act too.
Yeah.
And you haven't gotten to step into that fully, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. I never really obviously growing up, you know, like I did the dance show, and then as I was getting older, like, I started singing. I did a little bit of acting, but I was like really focused on like singing and dancing because I was just like, it just makes me happy. It makes me motivated. Got this opportunity, moved out with these guys, and made some crazy memories, had the time of my life. But like after all this was said and done, it was like a great 6 years. I just still didn't feel fulfilled, like, for myself. Like I felt like if I'm dragging along and I'm like not feeling my best, like I can't give them my best, and you know, respect to them for even just hearing me out. But I was like, if I can't give this my all, and like, even though like I would love to be here and love to do this stuff, it still just wouldn't be for me. It would kind of be for them, and you know, and they understood, and it was just,
of course. Most important thing, like, especially as we were talking about it and like, you know, all the new responsibilities that we're gonna have to take on, I was like, I just want to make sure everybody, like, we're gonna stepping into more business. I want to make sure we deal with each other as people first, and I think that's when we kind of started to unpack like, if any of us like if there's something that is like gonna bring like our like feed our soul and like bring fulfillment into our lives, like that is like because we're brothers, like that's the top priority. And I can imagine it was probably not an easy like. Cause I don't know how everyone else, but I've had like my own moments of wondering, like, if I want to even do this anymore. And I think for me, I was also like depressed, and you know, it's a lot of weight, you know. So I think for us, we only want to see you succeed and like you to feel good about what you're doing. And to your point about like not feeling like we don't want you to feel burdened, like you have to continue doing this for us, you know, because you know, like Zion said, you've been in the game for a minute, so
it feels like a minute.
Bro, not even that you've been in the game for a minute, but you were every second of being in the game, you were part of a group.
Bro, it's crazy though. Cause
Like you were part of a group
That's
beforehand with the boys, the Iconic Boys, but now even this, and you probably spent close to, I don't know, maybe like 10, 15 years of your life not being able to focus 12 not being able to focus just on yourself in a career. So, you know, commendable.
I was gonna say, bro, like at 12, bro, I was too nervous to talk to people, bro. Like talk to other individuals. Like at 12, I had no. So the fact that you were on TV and like working and being like disciplined at that age is crazy. Like I had no frontal cortex at that age, bro.
The thing is too is like, you know, living together, being together, like tied to the hip for like the last 6, almost 7 years now. It's like there's like it's a bond that can't be broken, and to be able to handle it the way that we did, and to be able to be honest with each other and do it the way that we're doing it is never been done before. And
that's true.
Nobody's. It's important.
Been.
It's like, and I think the importance here too, without being independent and being able to step away from that, it feels liberating because we can decide this ourselves and make it make it a commendable opportunity, versus still being tied down and having to have other ears in the situation. Being able to just handle it ourselves and do it ourselves and know what we're getting in and what we're getting out of it, super fucking important. But also you can't deny the fact that, I mean, Nick is always gonna be.
Yeah, like he's
pop out.
Exactly. You pop out at any time, any show, any like.
Yeah. Anytime
you're a brother for life.
Yeah, and I was saying it's just a testament to like what we got going on here and the relationship that each and every one of us have. Is like, you know, you don't get that in other places. Like some you know, you hear all the time groups is like, oh, this person's like, I'm out. Screw you. Or this person's like, oh, I'm the star. But like, it's really not like that. And like I said, it's a testament to like what we built for the past 6 years. And, you know, like if this was just like strictly business and like, you know, we didn't give a fuck you, buddy. We didn't care about each other. It'd be like, all right, fuck this. But like, you know, it hurts, you know, 10 times more because it's like family to you. So
Facts.
We gotta do what we gotta do.
Obviously, there's like a lot of updates. Hopefully, we covered everything. Again, we just want to thank the fans, like everybody who's been sticking by us from the beginning, and just, you know,
thank you.
We hope that you're excited, same way we are, about this new era, and obviously,
and
we wanted Nick to leave with some dignity and have a chance to.
I said next time he's in LA, we're gonna get him on another episode of the podcast, maybe the drunk episode.
Maybe.
Why not?
So saying just because I'm doing my own thing, don't mean I'm not gonna pop out.
Exactly.
Of course, still gonna be around.
Yeah, I mean,
we're still friends.
We're brothers.
We're not friends, we're family, fool.
Oh, when was the last time my brother looked at my ball sack and told me that there was a fucking...
Wow.
Oh yeah.
What a way to end it.
But that about wraps it up. Thank you guys for coming and listening to Talking Too Much, our first ever podcast. We're going to be doing them 2 times a month, and if you're subscribed to one
or
of the
3
tiers,
3 times a month.
One of the higher tiers we're going to do a special of Intoxicated, so we'll play like drinking games and talk about more drunk stories and whatever else we can muster up. So,
Thank you guys so much.
We love y'all. Until next time.
Also, thank you, Nick.
Stay away,
Thank you, Nick.
We love you, Nick.
Thank you guys.
Check my handwriting, man. Give me a good old 9 holes of respect.
Classic 18 holes.
And also with you.
And also with you. These guys.
Oh man, this shit is. Woo! Bitch!
Oh, this camera